Hi, Brendan Torpy here from AGF Seeds, and here today at Smeaton looking at our new barley release, Spring Barley release for 2026, Gretchen Spring Barley. So Gretchen comes to us after our evaluating this barley from our international breeding partners since 2022 in both our internal trials and NVT and the FAR national trials. So Gretchen is, as I said, a spring barley with very similar maturity to RGT Planet, about +1 or so days in scoring over the years, so very similar maturity to RGT Planet. Since the very start of looking at Gretchen, what excited us most from the start was its yield jump that we saw versus RGT Planet as the benchmark spring barley variety at that time. We were consistently seeing a 5 to 10% yield increase with RGT versus RGT Planet, and that's still been consistent through all our trials as well as the national trials we've been involved in. And then since that time, obviously, we've had the Neo come to market, which is proving itself to be a valuable barley, and we're seeing very competitive yields with Neo in the medium to high rainfall space. So we certainly see it as a variety in that medium to high rainfall space, given that maturity, as an alternative variety for those looking at moving on from Planet, and an alternative variety to Neo CL. From an agronomic perspective, we've spoken about those strong yield results we've observed over 3 years. From a disease perspective, we see some strengths there as well. So with Gretchen in regards to disease, I'm just standing here in our reduced fungicide plot. So this is our one fungicide application, which is just had the one fungicide application at flagleaf timing. So with Gretchen, very competitive from a disease perspective. So holding an MS provisional NVT rating for net form, net blotch. It is just an SVS for spot form, but MRMS on scald. So very competitive disease package from a scald perspective, and we have seen quite a lot of scald pressure in general through the 2025 season. So we see that as a very solid all-round disease package there for Gretchen. Strong on net form, strong on scald. There is some weakness with spot form, but for the key yield robbers with barley, with net form and then with scald, we see some real strength in this disease package. And looking within our plot here, which has just had the one fungicide application there at flagleaf, you can see when I pull back the canopy, our flag -1, in general, maintaining good levels of green leaf area throughout the plot. You can certainly see some presence of scald through the canopy, and through the base you will see some presence of spot form as well, lower in the canopy. But for just a one fungicide application, in what we've seen with some pretty disease conducive conditions here at Smeaton over the last month during grain fill, we find that looking quite strong with just a single fungicide. So in comparison to Gretchen, this is also single fungicide application in some other commercial varieties. So immediately next door to Gretchen, you can see just the disease pressure in comparison, particularly with scald, but also seeing pressure there with net form, net blotch through the canopy there as well. The other attribute of Gretchen that we're very excited about is its malt profile. Gretchen is a global variety and is malt accredited in other parts of the world, and is being malted in other countries. And the initial feedback we've had from maltsters with our micro malt work has been very positive with Gretchen's malt profile in the Australian market. And so Gretchen will be entered into the official Grains Australia malt barley accreditation program in 2026, with the aim that the variety will be officially malt accredited in the future. But certainly very excited by its malt quality profile, with initial micro malt testing we've done, and everything being prepared to enter into the official accreditation process in 2026. So all in all, we're very excited to see Gretchen come to the market. As we've spoken about from a yield jump perspective, we're really excited by the yield data we've seen in the medium and high rainfall zone with Gretchen. Disease-wise, we think the variety brings a very competitive disease package to the market, particularly in regards to net form, net blotch and scald resistance. And from a malt profile perspective, we see some really positive attributes there. And certainly we see an exciting new malt variety for the future Australian market. So Gretchen, excited to see that come to market and available to growers in 2026.